Hello, my friends. Welcome to yoga. So glad that you have joined me on the mat today. We're going to start down in child's pose. So you won't need to get anything in particular for today's practice. A mat if you have one, your body if you have one, you probably do since you're here doing yoga. Get into the version of child's pose that works for you. So if you like to have the knees out towards the sides of the mat before lowering the heart down, great. If you like the knees closer so that it can support the chest and the belly, fantastic. If your knees are not having child's pose today, great. Flip over on your back, tuck those knees into your chest. That works beautifully. So find what works for you here. Maybe you reach the fingertips out far away from the body. Maybe you want to bend at the elbows, stack the fists, and rest the forehead there. Whatever you do here, I am really less concerned about what you do with the body and more concerned with what you're doing with the mind. So really recognizing that we are shifting into a place of observation, introspection, presence, and away from all the list making and worrying and obsessing and time traveling that we tend to do in the rest of our lives. So we don't need to jump from past to future here. We probably will, but when we notice that we're doing that, we can come back and see if we can just feel into the body, if we can stay right here on this mat for just a little bit. If anything I offer doesn't feel good in the body, just adjust it. I want you to be in a space where you feel good at the end of this. So a little discomfort, that is fantastic. Pain, no thank you. So adjust, adapt, lie on the mat and breathe if that is what you need today. All good. Deep breath in here. And a long exhale. Beautiful job. Come on up to tabletop pose here. So your wrists come directly underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to warm up the spine here. So dropping the belly down, tailbone up, gaze lifts. Inhale. And then as you exhale, reverse that. So you drop the head, maybe tuck chin to chest, tuck tailbone under, push those shoulder blades up to the sky. Drop belly down as you breathe in. And then exhale, take that in the other direction. Really try to create space between those shoulder blades. Tuck belly button to spine. Good. One more time like this. Good. Now coming through center here. And then you want to look over that right shoulder. So looking over the right shoulder, maybe looking to see that right foot and push your hips to the left. So you're looking to feel this opening on the side body on the left. Maybe it feels good to send the hips back a little bit. When I do that, I find this deep opening in the side of my waist really gets into my lower back on that left side. When you're ready, come through center. Look over that left shoulder, send hips to the right, and then maybe back a little bit. Maybe you find that spot where you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Feeling some sensation there, and then just breathing into it. Deep breath in, and a long exhale. Good, coming back through center here. Tuck the toes, we're just going to do a little bit of abdominal engagement. So tucking the toes here and engage those core muscles. So it's sort of like drawing the muscles in, but you're not like sucking in and holding the breath. It's kind of like if someone was about to like run up to you and like grab you around the belly, you'd sort of brace for that. So engage that bracing, tucking toes under. You can stay right here or lift the knees just an inch or two off the mat. Now you might start shaking right away with this. That's great. That's what we want. Relax the jaw and keep the breath flowing. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down, untuck those toes, deep breath in. And exhale. Good. We're going to keep going with this opposite reach now to get into the core a little bit more. So you can do this with the arms. Right arm reaches out. Right arm comes down. Left arm reaches out. Left arm comes down. If you want to get a little bit more complicated, right arm, left leg, kick and reach. Gently put them down. Switch sides, left arm, right leg, reach, and then gently put them down. So find the version that feels good here. You're moving slowly, intentionally. If you are kicking back with the leg, kick through the heel. So back of the neck is long, jaw is relaxed. You're working on this coordination, which is just surprisingly challenging. You're working on balance, you're working on strength here. You're working on not taking yourself too seriously. One more time on each side here. Beautiful job. When you are done, tabletop pose, deep breath in. And exhale. Excellent job. Step that right foot forward. We're going to get into the hips a little bit here. So send those hips forward, coming into this runner's lunge. Hands are on either side of that front foot. You keep the hands down. You can bring them to the knee. You can reach up wherever you are at. Create some space between the ears and the shoulders. Send those hips forward and breathe. Feel into the sensation wherever it is that it's most noticeable. Take a deep breath in. Good job. Exhale. Hands come down onto the mat to start. And then we're going to take a twist. So you're going to twist towards the bent knee. So that might mean right hand comes up on the knee, or it might mean it lifts all the way up. You find what you like here. Maybe the gaze follows that top hand. Really press that left hand into the mat so you get this length, you get this beautiful reach and rotation in the spine. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, hand comes down. Let's switch the legs out. Left leg comes forward. Send those hips forward. So you can do the same thing on both sides. If you need something different on this side, absolutely fine. Hands can stay right here on the mat. Hands can come up on that knee for support, or you can reach arms all the way up. Whatever you need. For me on this side, it just feels a little bit more stable and grounding to leave my hands on the knee. So that's what I'm going to do. Pushing hips forward, dropping shoulders down. Deepening the breath here. Relaxing through the toes. Four, 3, 2, 1. Hands come down on the mat. And then make your choice. Left hand can come up on that left knee, or it can reach up. So find what you need here. Keep that knee close into the chest. Don't let it flop out to that left side. Really think about getting rotation through the spine here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Hands come down. Let's take that left leg back. You're back in that tabletop pose. Maybe you want to take a couple rounds of cat-cow here, just to feel maybe how that feels a little bit different than when we started. We're just getting into all of those places in our warm-up. Excellent job. Move the hands a little bit further away, a little bit farther in front of the shoulders. Press all fingers and thumbs into the mat. Tuck the toes. We're going to come into downward facing dog. Hips come up and back. So you can have as much bend in the knees as you would like. Maybe you want to walk your dog out, bend and straighten, move the hips around. Good job. Deep bend in those knees and walk up to the top of the mat. Take feet wide, deep bend in the knees. Ragdoll, maybe you want to interlace hands into opposite elbows. Maybe you want to sway. Maybe you want to shake the head yes and no. And then when you are ready, bend the knees even more and come up to standing. Roll those shoulders down, stepping towards the top of the mat. Palms face forward, or maybe hands to heart space. Just take a moment here if you want to set an intention, if you want to take a moment of gratitude, just recognizing that you made it to the mat today. It's a big deal. Deep breath here. And a long exhale. Release those hands down. Let's do a half sun salutation. So reach those arms up. Gaze goes up. Get really tall here. Exhale, fold all the way down, hinging at those hips. You can bend the knees as much as you would like here, and then take a halfway lift, hands to the legs, long spine. Fold all the way down. Bend those knees as you reach up to the sky. When you get there, extend that mountain by lifting through the heels. So keep those arms up, but shoulders drop down. Core is engaged. Maybe it's wobbly. Maybe you fall out. Totally fine. Get back in. Set the gaze in one spot. Core is strong. Squeeze the bum here. Deep breath in. And exhale, heels down, fold all the way through. Come into that halfway lift, long spine. And then fold all the way down. Bend the knees, reach all the way up. And then this time, sink the hips down, coming into Utkatasana, awkward pose, chair pose. So reaching those arms up or reaching them out in front of you. Sit those hips back. Tuck the tail a little bit. And smooth out the breath. Weight is in the heels. You can pick up the toes and wiggle them. Relax through the jaw. Take a deep breath in. Maybe reach those arms up. And exhale, fold forward, straightening through the legs as you come down. Halfway lift here, long spine. And then fold all the way down, deep in the bend in the knees as you reach up. And exhale, arms come down to your sides. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Breathe. Noticing here, noticing the heartbeat, the breath. Noticing the thought pattern, noticing the connection of the feet on the ground. And if there is any part of you that feels like, oh, this is something I have to do, can you switch that from a have to a get to? This practice is something I get to do today. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Take a step to the long side of your mat. We're going to take a wide stance here. So coming into goddess pose, toes are pointing out, heels are in. So wider than your shoulders here. Hands to the hips, heart lifts, and then sink straight down. So you're not coming forward with the heart, sinking straight down, bending through the knees. Maybe you want to adjust when you get down here. Maybe it's a little bend, absolutely fine. Maybe it's a really deep bend, that's cool too. Find where you want to be. Shoulders drop down. Good. So think about drawing the knees behind you. Maybe it feels good to stay with hands on the hips. Maybe you want to put them on the thighs. Maybe you want to reach those arms up. So again, core engagement here, really strong through the torso and bending into those knees and finding that spot. Finding that spot where it is intense, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but you're not feeling in pain. Maybe picking up those toes and wiggling them. Maybe squeezing the bum so you can really feel that external rotation in the hip as you draw the knees back behind you. Not actually behind you, that would really hurt, but that's the direction we're thinking of. Take a deep breath in here. Sink down one more half inch. Beautiful, stand up, draw those feet in underneath you, palms face forward and breathe. You don't have to do this. You get to do this. You get to feel your heart beating underneath your hand. You get to feel an increase in your blood flow. You get to feel the deepening of your breath. You don't have to, you choose to. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Excellent job. Let's come into tree pose. So you can always come near something to help you balance. We're going to start with that left knee coming out to the side. So we're getting, again, that rotation, that external rotation in the hip, similar to what we just did with goddess pose. So left toes can stay right there on the mat, heel on opposite ankle. You can move that foot up to the calf muscle. Please don't put it directly on the knee. It seems to want to settle in there. We don't want that because that pushes the knee in a direction it does not go. So above the knee, below the knee, all good. You can hang on to something. You can bring the hands to heart center. You can reach them up. Set the gaze in one spot. Relax the jaw, relax the toes. Slight bend in that standing knee. You get to be here. You get to wobble, you get to fall out, you get to get back in. Breathe in here. And let that go. Amazing work. Switch the legs out. So I love this pose because it's so challenging for the ego. It's also challenging for the body, but it has so many different versions where you can use a support or not use a support. You can have both feet on the ground. You can work with the foot at any level that feels good other than the knee. You can have the hands in whatever position feels like the best expression for you. It is the true heart of yoga where it can meet you wherever you're at. It can evolve with you for whatever you're feeling on that day. And it's going to be wobbly and you're going to fall out because this is really hard to stand on one leg. So, can you smile at yourself? Can you be kind? Can you say a kind word to yourself? And just get back in. Breathe. Breathe. Wonderful job. Release that down, palms face forward. Inhale. And let that go. Find your way down to the mat. So we're going to come all the way down onto the back. And we've been looking at some core work in different versions today. So we're going to do a little bit more of that. So press that low back into the mat. Bring the legs into tabletop. So this is already a lot of work for the core. So you might want to stay right here. And you can flex the feet if you want and just focus on that core engagement. If you want more, head and neck come up. You can stay right here. If you want even more, bringing the hands to the thighs, gentle press, like you're trying to move the legs away from you, but don't let the legs move. Yeah, so this gets pretty intense pretty fast. So breathe, keep pressing, keep resisting. If at any time you want to bring the neck down because it's causing you pain, go ahead and do that. You can lift back up if and when you are ready. Keep pressing, keep pressing. 5, 4, 3, 2. Beautiful job. Tuck those knees into chest, maybe some circles with the knees here. Relax that jaw, maybe close the eyes for a moment to just really do a deep dive here. Breathe in and breathe out. Nicely done. Roll up to seated here. Bringing the hands behind you and plant the feet. So hands can come behind you. If toes want to point towards the feet, that's good. If that feels like a lot and you want to go out to the side, also fine. So press the feet into the mat. We're going to lift the hips up into reverse table. I like to keep my chin tucked for this. So when you're ready, hips come up. Chin can stay tucked or you can drop it back. But squeeze the bum, send the hips up, keep those knees in line with the hips, so don't let them splay out to the sides, and feel that deep opening through the heart. Good. Keep pressing up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Hips come down. You can leave those knees bent or straighten them out, and maybe lifting those arms up, coming into a little bit of a forward fold here. If this feels like a lot on the low back, please bend the knees up. We're looking to stretch the backs of the legs here. So pain in the back, not going to help us at all. Breathe in. And sigh it out, let it go. Excellent job. We are going to go all the way back on the mat. So maybe, if you just want to lie down, that's fine. If you want a little bit more, you can bend the knees, reach those arms forward, take a deep breath in, lift through the heart, and slowly lower all the way down. Eventually, you're just going to flop down, and that's absolutely fine. Hand to heart, hand to belly. Bring those feet sole to sole. Let the knees come out to the left and right of the mat. And breathe here. Let the body be heavy on the mat. Deep breath. And let that go. Fantastic work. Shifting into your Shavasana, your resting pose here. If you want to bring the hands to the outsides of the legs, draw them in, maybe straighten them out. If you like Shavasana, lying on the back, that's great. If you prefer to lie on your side or even sit up, absolutely fine with me. If there's anything you need to do before getting to your Shavasana, that's great. If you want a twist or a hip opener, inversion, please feel free to do that so that your practice feels complete and you can fully rest. And then close your eyes if you can. And allow yourself to fully integrate everything that we have just done. And see if there is any benefit for you in this reframe from have to get to. I remember when I have been in difficult situations in my life, when I've been sick or injured, and I've thought so wistfully about just being able to, getting to do those normal things that I took for granted. So I find it very powerful to shift to I get to do my yoga practice today, instead of, oh, I have to find time to do that. It brings a light and a gratitude to my routine that I really appreciate. So maybe as you go through the rest of your day, the rest of your week, consider if a reframe from have to get to might shift things for you in a positive way. breathe in here. And let that go. Maybe starting to wiggle the fingers, the toes, maybe taking a deep stretch. If you have the space in your day to stay in a longer Shavasana, please do that. If you are ready to move on, you can come up to a seated position if you're not there already. You can rest the hands in the lap, maybe bring them to heart center. Recalling the intention or moment of gratitude you might have taken at the beginning of class. And take the deepest breath in. Sigh it out. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this practice with me. It is always such an honor for me to lead you through. May you be well, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with peace. Namaste. Come back soon. I'll see you next time.